To everyone's surprise, Morphies Law is just now out on Nintendo Switch. If you would have told me a week ago that the game would be out today or yesterday or whenever it was released, I wouldn't have believed you. But I always had a little bit of a morbid curiosity about Morphies Law. Visually, it is very unique. Conceptually, I think it does a fantastic job. The potential there was so cool. When the reveal happened at the Nindies Direct, I thought to myself like, hey, that looks really cool. You gotta remember though, at that time, Fortnite and Paladins were not on Nintendo Switch. Now, this game comes out, it's $20, it's not free like Fortnite and Paladins, and it is trying to gather a community of people to play multiplayer with on Nintendo Switch in the form of a shooter. Splatoon already does that beautifully, so we shouldn't even mention that, but for $20, Paladins, for now at least, is a little bit of a rough sell. And this isn't a video trying to bash Morphies Law. I actually enjoy it quite a bit. I've played like 6-7 hours now, and it's just unfortunate how much potential is wasted here. We'll get into what I mean by wasted potential here in a little bit, but for now, let's talk about what I'm talking about, which is, the lag, right? That's something that happens in every multiplayer game that is released in 2018. Whether you're Call of Duty and Battlefield or whether you're Morphies Law. Server issues are going to be a thing that happens. Even if you're not a shooter, if you're multiplayer and you're online in 2018, you are going to have online lag issues. They're working on the patch. They said that they already submitted it, and along with the patch, there's all these other fixes. I'll have like the patch notes in the screen here so you can read it for a little bit in case you think that this is going to drastically improve the experience for you. And that's one thing I will say. At least they are working towards having the experience be good right off the bat. Like, they're working on getting that patch out there quickly. They are really on top of that. They're notifying people on Twitter, letting people know like, hey, yeah, we're working on this. But I guess where it gets difficult is that if you go into Morphies Law now and play with bots, right, there's no lag because you're playing locally. You're just playing against AI, no lag. The game still has issues. It's not all that fun. For me, some of the biggest issues, and I'm not going to dwell on them very long, is the guns, they don't feel like they have any weight to them at all. The sound is not something that like registers with me, right? I'll just like be holding the trigger and the projectiles are like going, but it just kind of feels like a water gun or something like that. There's no like heft behind it, and I don't know if it's like a lack of vibration in the controller, even though there is like some vibration, but it just doesn't feel right? I'm not a game designer. I don't know how to make that feel better, but that's something that they really got to work on. Beyond that, the 3 modes that are there, it's just 3 modes. It's not a lot. They're pretty standard, right? One is the equivalent of capture the flag. You get this like giant head and bring it back to your point. The other one, you are standing on certain points and gathering mass and bringing it to the shrine. So I'm enjoying the modes for the most part, but I just wish there was a little bit more. 3 modes really isn't a lot, and you're paying $20 for this package. And I guess that's one of the other things that concern me a little bit, right? You have more popular games on Switch now that are free. For $20, I don't know, this is a little bit of a hard sell. And to me, the thing that kind of like is an issue is, okay, you dropped out of nowhere. It was a cool surprise. People that were excited for your game got the game, cool. But then the experience that they're having isn't a good one. Lag, sure, we'll toss that aside just because that is something that happens. But what about everything else? The fact that if you're playing against bots, it's still like a really like janky mess. And it could have been like such a cool thing because I love the concept of it, right? Hey, shoot body parts, their body parts shrink, your body parts grow, and it allows you to do certain things you couldn't do before, such as go in tunnels. There's doors that you can't fit through unless you're a certain size. There's a lot there that's really cool. They also have the customization that I think they're doing a really good job with as well. Unfortunately, they're not like as unique as I would like for them to be, but that's, besides the point. The weapon creation is really cool as well. That incentivizes you to mix and match things, all the abilities, the unlocking, the progression system. It's all decently done. It's just unfortunate that it's not that fun to play. And I don't know, I hope that they do something, building an audience, right? You have the player base is already excited, kind of like me, right? We jump on. We're not having a good experience. We talk about it. Word of mouth is not going to be positive. People like Zax that have like, kind of been excited, but like really apprehensive, but they're willing to try it. They'll try it. But I don't know when Zach is going to ever try Morphies Law again. He probably won't. He did not have a good time with that. And that's so hard when you do not get the player base like right off the bat and capture them and want to hold them on. There's so much else that they could be playing. And that's a big obstacle for Morphies Law because there is competition on Switch now. When this was announced, there maybe wasn't. Fortnite wasn't on Switch yet. Paladins wasn't on Switch. Warframe is now announced, and Warframe is totally different. Yes, Splatoon was out, and that's kind of similar, but now there's so much more competition, and all these companies are competing for the mind share of people that want to play multiplayer on Switch. And the fact that Morphies Law isn't right out the gate having positive word of mouth is going to mean that having a player base there that's going to be strong enough to maintain is going to be a tricky thing. So if you were looking forward to it, you played it, are you going to come back in a month? If the game's like awesome in a month, because all the potential is here, they have so much right. In a month, are you going to be around, or are you going to move on to something else? Are you going to just be like so into like Fortnite or Paladins or whatever at that point that like Morphies Law is nothing but a distant memory? I hope that isn't the case. I hope that they can somehow cultivate an audience. I have a feeling that, you know, something as drastic as like a free weekend is going to need to happen. Something like that to bring people back in and show them like, hey, like this is good now. And I hope that's the case. If not, you know, Morphies Law was at the very least creative in a lot of ways. A lot of what they do was different and unique, and they should still be applauded for that. But we got to keep in mind that the company making Morphies Law is so small. They're indie, and you know, I see people saying, "Oh, this should have been free to play." I don't necessarily agree with that. I just feel like if this was a better implemented game, we would have been good. But what do you guys think in the comments below? How do you feel about the potential of Morphies Law, or maybe the wasted potential of Morphies Law? I'm curious what you guys think. Are you having fun with it? Like I said, I've played a bunch of hours now. I'm going to continue to play it just because I'm still like so curious about how this is going to go. I can't lie and say I'm having fun every step of the way, but every once in a while, it does click. I'm saying, hey, this could be so cool. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video in any way. I would love to take part in the conversation, hopefully happening in the comments. Hopefully it's healthy discussion, and I'll chime in and talk to you guys as well. We will catch you on the next one. We appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Switch Force out.